They're envious because no one else can survive the storm that lives inside you the way I can. Loving you requires madness that only I possess. Everyone wants your beauty, your charm, your fire, but they can't handle the chaos that comes with you. That's where I win. They see you and think they can replace me, but they have no idea what it costs to love someone like you and stay sane. They envy me because I know how to calm your storms, kiss your scars, and still want you when you're at your worst. They can touch your body, but they'll never understand your silence the way I do. That's why they're jealous. They admire your glow, but I'm the one who lit it. They want your love, but I'm the one who endured its fire. No one else can read the language of your pain like I can. And that's what makes their envy burn so deep. They call me obsessed, but they don't know what it means to love someone who could destroy you and heal you in the same breath. They're jealous because they see how you come undone only for me, how your strength turns to softness in my hands. They crave the version of you I created, the one that only blooms under my chaos and care. They don't realize that handling you means handling your darkness too, and that's something their hearts are too fragile to bear. They think you're easy to love because you're beautiful, but I know the truth. You're a storm disguised as a blessing. They envy me because I know where to touch your soul when words fail, where to hold you when you start to disappear. They see the light you give me, but not the nights I spent earning your trust through fire and forgiveness. They'll never understand that loving you isn't about control. It's about surviving the hurricane and still choosing to stay. They envy the connection, the electricity, the way you look at me like no one else exists. They want your body, but I've memorized your mind. They want your time, but I've lived inside your thoughts. They're jealous because they see that when you're near me, the world fades and only our chaos remains. They can mimic my words, copy my gestures, but they'll never recreate the way your heartbeat matches mine. They envy me because I've seen every side of you, the angel, the sinner, the dream, the disaster, and I still stayed. They can't handle your temper, your tears, your truth, but I find beauty in every broken piece of it. They envy me because I don't just love you, I understand you, and that terrifies them. They want to be me because they see what your eyes do when I whisper your name. They're envious because you're calm with them, but alive with me. They'll never taste your real fire. They want your love story, but they're not built for your intensity. I am. They can flirt with you all they want, but they'll never know the darkness behind your smile like I do. They envy me because you let me see the parts of you that even you're scared to face. They think they could replace me, but they'd crumble under the weight of loving you the way I do. They're jealous of how you laugh around me, like the world suddenly remembered how to breathe. They can't handle your chaos, your contradictions, your depth, but I crave it all. They envy me because they see what we have, and they know they'll never survive that kind of love. They think they can love you, but they'd run the moment your fire burns brighter than their comfort. They envy me because I make you feel safe enough to be wild again. They want to touch you, but I'm the only one who knows how not to break you. They're jealous because I don't just handle you. I worship every side of you that terrifies others. They can't handle the silence between us, the way even our quiet moments scream connection. They envy the way you look at me like you've already chosen your forever. They're jealous because you let me in so deep that even your shadows whisper my name. They think I'm lucky to have you, but luck has nothing to do with surviving your kind of love. They envy me because I've earned the right to touch your soul, not just your skin. They don't realize it takes strength to hold someone like you, to stay when love turns into war. They envy me because while they chase your beauty, I hold your chaos and call it sacred. They want your love story, but they're not built for the heartbreak it demands. They envy the way you soften when I call your name, the way your walls collapse without warning. They can't handle you because they mistake your intensity for danger. I see it as art. They envy me because they sense the spell you fall under whenever I'm near. They want your lips, but I've already memorized your silence. That's why they can't win. They envy me because you choose me even when the world offers you easier options. They're jealous because our love looks like destruction to them, but to us, it's rebirth. They envy the way I understand you without words, because that kind of bond can't be taught. They envy me because you surrender to me in ways you hide from the world. Your vulnerability is my victory. They can't handle your chaos because they crave control, but I find peace in your unpredictability. They envy me because when you lose yourself, you always find your way back through me. They can't stand that you laugh harder, breathe deeper, and live louder when you're with me. They envy me because I turn your storms into poetry, your silence into meaning. They think they know you, but they've only seen the mask. I've seen the heartbeat underneath. They envy the fire between us, the kind that doesn't destroy, but purifies. They can't understand how we argue like thunder and love like sunrise. They envy me because I see you not as you appear, but as you truly are beneath the noise. They want your perfection, but I'm addicted to your flaws. That's why they can't compete. They envy me because when I touch you, even your pain turns into art. They can't handle your truth because it exposes their own lies, but I welcome every scar. They envy the way your soul recognizes mine without needing words or promises. They want your attention, but I already own your thoughts. They envy me because you open to me like a storm, wild, raw, and unstoppable. They can't handle the way your heart speaks in chaos, but I've learned its rhythm. They envy me because I've danced with your darkness and still called you divine. They can't understand how I love your mind just as fiercely as I crave your body. They envy me because even in silence, your energy reaches for mine. They want your body, but I've memorized your soul. That's what drives their envy wild. They envy me because I turn your fears into softness and your walls into windows. They can't handle how your madness and my calm fit like puzzle pieces. They envy the way we break and rebuild each other without ever truly letting go. They want to be close to you, but I live inside your heartbeat. They envy me because your chaos feels like home in my arms. They can't handle you because they mistake your intensity for danger. I call it devotion. They envy me because I see your soul even when you're pretending to be fine. They want your body for pleasure. I want your mind for forever. They envy the way your eyes soften only when they find mine. They can't understand that loving you isn't survival, it's resurrection. They envy me because I make you forget the world while reminding you who you are. They can't handle the fire you carry, but I was born from the same flame. They envy me because I turned your silence into a symphony that only I can hear. They want to touch your skin, but I've kissed the edges of your soul. They envy me because you let me in past the pain, the fear, the masks. They can't handle the storm in you, but I've learned how to love lightning. They envy me because you only whisper your truth when I'm near. They can't handle how our connection defies logic, time, and distance. They envy me because you come alive in my chaos, like your soul recognizes home. They want your smile, but I know the story behind every tear that created it. They envy me because I see beauty in your darkness, not danger. They can't handle your complexity because they crave simplicity. I crave you exactly as you are. They envy me because I made peace with the parts of you others ran from. They want your light, but I've survived your shadows and still stayed. They envy me because your heart speaks in a language only I can understand. They can't handle your honesty, but I crave it more than air. They envy me because I've seen you broken and still called you perfect. They want your laughter, but I've held your tears. That's the difference. They envy me because I make your darkness bloom instead of fade. They can't handle your silence because it exposes their emptiness. They envy me because I know what your heartbeat sounds like when it's finally safe. They want to love you, but they drown in the depth I learned to breathe in. They envy me because I can turn your pain into poetry and your fear into fire. They can't handle how our chaos looks like destiny to us. They envy me because you melt only in my hands, like your body remembers I'm the one who listens. They want to impress you, but I want to understand you, and that's what sets me apart. They envy me because I see beauty in your flaws and truth in your madness. They can't handle how effortlessly our souls collide and rebuild worlds in silence. They envy me because you trust me with the version of you that no one else survives. They envy me because while they crave control, I crave your chaos. And that's why only I can handle you.